Let's head out to Tampa Bay. Feature race of the weekend, the Grade 3 Tampa Bay Derby. This is race number 11 on Tampa Bay's Saturday card. Mountain of 16th over the dirt. And let's go, Aaron. Talking. We're here. Powershift. We'll talk about that horse. Was very good on debut. Ran in second, but very good on debut. Further ado, we're back. The Puma, can't quit ya, and Canaletto, all in this field. Very good. This is the best version of the Tampa Bay Derby I can remember in the last decade. I cannot remember ever being excited for this race prior to this year, and I am legit excited for this race on Saturday.
I'm 100% with you. We said the same thing for the Sam F. Davis. If you go back and watch about a month ago, we're like, this is a great race. I'm very, very excited for it. I'm with you. Like, this is the race of the weekend for me. And like you said, the Tampa Bay Derby is, it's more like you label as, oh, this is fun. It's at Tampa and it's different. And, but you never really get like, oh, this is the absolute serious horse. But man, there's so much potential in this field. I thought this was extremely difficult to pick a top choice. I am extremely confident one of 4 horses are going to win. The problem is, though, they're going to be the top 4 choices, and you can't play them all, and you got to make some difficult decisions here. So I debated forever on this race. I went number 6, Further Ado, on top in this spot. I'm very curious to see what happens here. His race at Keeneland 2 back, when he went a mile 16th on a maiden special weight and won by 20 lengths, that was very, very, very good. His Kentucky Jockey Club was very average, in my opinion. Now, here's the good news. You're average and you won. That's good. That's good that your average race could win a Kentucky Derby prep race. Universe hasn't come back to run very well. He was second. For Soldier and Diplomat, he was okay in the Southwest. He ran second. He got a bad trip, in the Rebel. I give him another chance. He's not horrible, I guess what I'm trying to say. He's still, Further Ado, only won by a length and 3/4 in that race. You look at the work pattern and you watch kind of how this horse is working. I think Further Ado is ready for a good race. I think he's grown up a little bit. I don't mind Brad Cox off layoffs. I think he'll be able to. He'll be ready to run. So I'm going to go number 6, Further Ado on top. I think he can set the trip that I want here. I don't want a horse. I don't think I want a horse, at least when I look at the pace, on the lead necessarily. I think we want one stalking. I think Further Ado can do that. So I'm going to go number 6, Further Ado on top.
Okay. Here's my problem with Further Ado.
Okay.
And this is a Mike Somich problem. This doesn't mean that your pick is bad. This is Mike Somich problem. You mentioned that maiden special weight win.
Yep.
Very good race, right? Gets a 98 buyer. Do you know the next highest buyer in that race?
No, I do not.
It was 66.
66. It's not good.
Do you know the next highest buyer out of that race by the entire field, which, by the way, was a 11-horse field?
No.
It was 72. Okay? There is absolutely no backing that 98 is real. None. Not even a lick. Not even a little bit. He won by 20 lengths. It happens. You're going to get some numbers that don't make sense. I understand it's timed. I get all how it's made.
Yeah.
It's still an anomaly. And I don't see any way that anomaly is backed up, so I'm not willing to pay a short price on Further Ado because of that. If he runs back to that race and just, probably wins this race.
Yeah.
I'm just not willing to bet that is the race that he is going to run back to at the price that you're going to get. I'm going to do it. Give me the Puma. Give me the Puma. I'm not quitting him. I won't do it. I think Chief Wallaby's that good. I really do. And I think the Puma got a bad trip last time out. And we talked about this. Castellano is back aboard. And I'm not an Edwin Gonzalez detractor. I don't but the ride was bad. It was not good. That horse got boxed in twice. You shouldn't get boxed in twice. Once is one thing, twice is a problem. And I thought the Puma would have at least run second, if not beaten Renegade that day. And I think that's where my opinion differentiates. I think a lot of people would say he wasn't beating Renegade. I think he had enough to beat Renegade that day and just never got a chance to stretch his legs. I do long-term like a horse out of here more, which is Canaletto, who we'll talk about a little bit later as well. But I'm going to take the Puma, who I think I could actually get a good price on. I think that the people forget about this horse because they're like, well, the Tampa Bay, they're the Sam F. Davis, and he ran third in that race, didn't even run second, and you've got all of these big-time horses with upside. I think the Puma has upside. I'm going with the Puma on top here.
I love this. I love this race and your love of the Puma, and I hope he continues to run all through the trail and all through the summer, and we get to talk about him. Look, we somewhat agree that we fully agree. The last race, the ride was not good. The trip was not good. I think there's no question it cost him first or second. I don't think he's beaten Renegade though. That's where we go our separate ways on the Puma. Look, he's one of the top 4 for sure. I do think you're going to get the price you want. 5-2 last time out. I think he's more like 5-1 this time.
Yep, I agree. That's part of the reason I'm picking him.
And that is very intriguing. And I'm with you. I also agree. Javier Castellano is going to make a big difference. I hated that Javier Castellano did not come over last time. I don't know why he didn't do that. I know he had mounts at Gulfstream, but this was the mount I think he really needed to take that day. So anyway, a lot of reasons to like him. I'm not hating on it. You're going to hate this comment I'm going to make next. I know the trip was bad and everything. I was still a little disappointed with the Sam F. Davis. I'm sorry. I just didn't think he was that great in that race.
I mean, it's fine. You're wrong all the time. This could be another one. I'm fine with that.
I like him. I'm just saying, I don't know. The trip was bad, but he also didn't run all that well, in my opinion.
He could have run better.
Yeah.
He got stopped like twice in that race. It never really got to get open. We saw him run his best outside, and he never was outside horses. To me, there's a bunch of different reasons that all add up to enough that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a shot with what I think is going to be the price, because you mentioned Further Ado. He was your pick. Yeah. We've got to talk about the 2 other buzz horses that are in this race. We'll start on the outside with Canaletto. I mentioned this Chad Brown trainee. Looked freaking phenomenal on debut at Gulfstream Park. I mean, just ran away from everybody in that race. Ends up winning by 8 lengths, gets an 89 buyer on debut. This is $1 million son of Into Mischief out of Distorted Humor Mare. You're going to have no problem with the distance. To me, my big concern here is, what's his style? Mm-hmm. We have no clue. This is the first time you're trying 2 turns. There's a lot of speed signed on. Does Canaletto need the lead? Can he stalk? If he could stalk, if you told me right now Canaletto can stalk and he'll be fine going 2 turns, this would be my pick. I need to see it. That's why I'm not picking him.
Well, I was there that day he broke the maiden. That was the day after the Pegasus. And we went back to the track. We were going back to the track all along, but we told ourselves we went back to the track for this maiden special weight because there were 3 or 4 horses that were pretty good in it. He was very impressive, in person, in the paddock, immediately when they came out, we're that looks like the winner. And oftentimes that doesn't work out, but then he ran to the looks out on the track, right? And everything, he checked every box. I really wanted to pick him. I'm kind of pretty much all like you in the thought of, what's 2 turns going to look like for him? Where is he going to fall in this race? Is it good that he's outside, or is it bad that he's outside? He had a little bit too many question marks for me. And the other horse, the 5 that's coming out of just one race, had less question marks for me. So I kind of lean 5 over the 9.
Yeah. So the Powershift, the 5 horse, the other horse Aaron's talking about, lost to Emerging Market last time out. That is a Chad Brown horse. That was a very expensive Chad Brown horse. It was at Tampa, which is always kind of but they did everything in 6s, so very good time, going a mile in 40 yards that day. They were 15 lengths clear of everybody else in that race. It was basically a 2-horse race with them just throwing down the lane here. And I asked you to rank the Chad Browns. I put Emerging Market in the same context as Canaletto. I think that is a reasonable thing to say, especially there with Iron Honor, and I think clearly Paladin is number 1, and then you have Canaletto and Emerging Market there sitting in the 2-3 spots. Why did this horse debut at Tampa?
Yeah.
Why did Emerging Market debut at Tampa? For everyone we asked that question because Gulfstream Park is literally $40,000 more from a purse perspective. And the only reason I think you debut at Tampa is you were targeting this race, and you said, I want to race over the track. And that is, to me, the only viable excuse as to why this horse debuted at Tampa.
Well, trainers say things, okay? I'm going to make that. I don't really trust many trainers, let's say. but Todd Pletcher was quoted this week saying our plan all along was to debut at Tampa because we had the Tampa Bay Derby in mind. Now, why Emerging Market was there, I don't really know. I think that is a better question.
Yeah.
But Pletcher's quote was, Powershift ran a race that would win 999 out of 1,000 maiden special weights at Tampa. So we're going to just pretend like he won that race and stick with the plan and go right on to the Tampa Bay Derby, which I think that's great. But so he said specifically, that's why we did it. So Powershift makes sense to me. I would say they told Irad, just don't fall off and you'll be fine. And Powershift will win by 20 lengths in this race. He's very good. And then, oh, by the way, Chad Brown, Emerging Market, who I'd never heard anything about. Nope. I had heard Powershift mentioned before, but Emerging Market I'd never even heard of, comes in and just runs a circus race and beats him. And I think both these horses are super good. I should have picked the 5. I really like the 5 here, Powershift, but I like Further Do a little bit more. But anyway, the 5 second for me, it doesn't bother me at all that he lost. I think he's going to run really well. And look, the plan was the Tampa Bay Derby. He ran a winning race, so I think it sets up well. And what would we be thinking of Powershift if he would have won by 13.5 lengths, meaning Emerging Market never was in the race? We would think, holy cow.
Well, right? First off, he wouldn't have won by 13.5 because they actually fought each other down the lane.
That's true.
Like
that
this
true.
Is that, which is one thing I'm kind of like, do I love that? Like, would I have rather he just ran away and won by 12 lengths, 10 lengths, whatever it was? Because it obviously took more out of the horse. But however, I do like the fact that because to me the Tampa Bay thing was a question mark. The fact that you said what my thought process was, the acceptable answer is this was the plan, that does make me feel better about Powershift there. Man, it's gonna be a fun race. Yeah. I think Talking is live. Like if they're fast early, why isn't Talkin the one who's rolling late? And don't we have more faith in him than we do in some of these other horses that are like Powershift, first time going a mile and a 16th, second career start, first time against winners. Further Ado, first off a layoff. The Puma, you didn't like his last race. I was fine with it. You didn't like his last race. Canaletto.
Stop that.
You hate the Puma. It's fine.
No, I
Canaletto,
don't.
first time against winners. First time going 2 turns. Like, isn't Talkin the one you trust the most? If you kind of set like the trust meter on what effort you're going to get here?
No.
Oh.
I have no interest in Talkin in this race.
I do. I think Talkin is your price that runs the 88 buyer and runs second or third here.
I think, okay, I'll say third or fourth. I don't think's off the table because a lot of times what happens when you get these big matchups like that, a couple of them won't run. And then Talkin is kind of that slow and steady, wins the race type of horse. In this case, gets third or fourth. I just don't think he's that good. I don't see a race where I think he can win this one. Can he finish third or fourth at a big price? You want to throw him in there? Yeah. I mean, I like him better than Redland Rebel and Roger That Dana and Hulkamania. Yeah. But I just don't view him in the same category as the 5, 6, 8, or 9.
How dare you not view him in the same category as Hulkamania? Great name.
Great
horse probably not going to win. Just saying. Like second time, first time against starters, buyer doesn't fit. This is going to be fascinating. I can't wait for this race. Further ado for Aaron in the Tampa Bay Derby, race number 11 from Tampa Bay Downs. Give me the Puma. One time, Puma. One time, buddy. We'll see what happens there from Tampa Bay, but that is going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait for that race this weekend, which is saying something because usually I don't mind waiting for the Tampa Bay Derby, but this year, very, very good rendition.